Welcome back, everyone. My name is Jamie Yeager. The last session that I did was on employee engagement. It's called Challenges in the Workforce. If you haven't been able to see it, the previous one, feel free to look at it. Now we are on session 2. Since we had talked about employee engagement and how many people are not happy with their position and 51% of the people are not happy and they're looking for jobs, I thought that this session we talk about the interview process. Now, the interview process is a grueling process, and I don't know why employers are making it so grueling for everyone. I understand that they want to weed out the lazy people and to see who's really serious about filling out applications. But the problem is with the interview process is they want you to submit their resume, right? Well, then after you submit it, they want you to manually fill in everything that's on your resume. How redundant is that? What's the point? You're filling in everything. And I understand that there's other questions that they may want to ask. Okay, submit your resume, ask those few extra questions related to that's job specific, and be done with it. And then some of them want you to fill out an assessment. Okay, if I'm not even going to get an interview, I don't want to waste my time doing the assessment. And I get that those assessments are supposed to weed more people out, but it's time consuming, and I really don't think it's necessary. I think it's just some of the questions that they ask, people are going to fill it out like they want it, that they know that the employer is going to want to hear. Like some of the questions are, would you steal a pen? Or do you think it's okay to steal like 5% of the time? Of course you're going to say no. For example, some of the questions reflect on, would you steal? Well, people are going to obviously say no on that assessment, whether people do or not. Or do you call in sick? Or, some of these common sense questions, you're going to obviously say no. So how valid are these assessments? And I get some of the questions are kind of tricky and they can assess things that way, but I really feel like they need to make these interview processes more easy and simpler for the people who are interviewing. Many people still have jobs, and then after they come home from a long day of work, then they have to sit there and try to find a job, and when they do, then fill out these grueling application processes. It's ridiculous. And it got to the point whenever I was looking for a new job that LinkedIn and Indeed, I don't know about the other websites, but those are the two I have used, have this nice little feature that says easy apply or apply with Indeed resume, where it's really quick. So I started using that feature. Yes, I realize I probably missed a lot of good jobs, but it takes too much time, and many people are probably doing that too. And so the people who are doing these assessments and making you fill out a manual survey or application when everything is already on your resume and redoing it are probably losing pretty good candidates due to that. And the other thing with the interviewing process with the application is employers at the end, most of them, ask questions like, some ask for your age. Most of them are asking your race, if you're disabled, if you're a protective veteran, and so forth. This can be discriminatory. And they say it's not discriminatory, but then why even ask these questions? If you're truly not discriminatory, who cares? Interview the person. But this way they can ask these questions and they can be discriminatory if they want to, and you would never know because they never called you because you're not the certain person that they want. So yes, they do have an option for you to put I do not prefer to answer, but will they throw out your resume if you don't if you check that box. We will never know. And I would feel that they shouldn't even be able to answer those questions, ask those questions. And what about the people that are a little bit older, that are looking for a job, that already feel like it's hard enough to find a job because they're older, and then they have to disclose their date of birth, and some of them you can't even leave it blank. And then, so that's frustrating in itself too, especially maybe for the older population that are looking for a job. And one of the other things too that is very frustrating, I don't know about other industries, but again, remember, I really only know the healthcare industry, but they make you disclose what you want for your salary. Well, it's very hard to put in a salary because you don't know if it's too high, but you don't want to lowball them either, because then they'll lowball you. But they refuse to tell you what the range is. Some of the people that I interviewed with in the past would say, oh, that's within our ballpark. Well, how come I have to disclose what I would want or what I'm making, but you're not going to tell me what the range is? I get why they probably do it. Probably because they don't want to give you the high end of the salary, but why can't they just disclose the salary and be honest? I know I have seen other industries where they actually just put the salary on the website when you're applying. So then you can know if it's worth your while to apply, because what about if it's too low for you? You're not going to apply for it. But in the healthcare industry, a lot of the jobs don't put anything, so you don't know if it's worth your while or not. So these are just some tips in the interviewing process that to leave you with. Maybe not actual tips, but thoughts. And I don't know if you're having the same issues as I have in the past, but it's a very frustrating process, and I hope employers start to make it easier for people by letting you just submit your resume and ask the few extra questions that they want. Take away the age and discriminatory questions, and eventually they're going to find out anyway when they bring you on site, but at least you don't feel discriminated against right away, at the start. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast, and I hope that these thoughts helped you in your interviewing process if you are looking for a new job. And I hope these employers listen to this as well and take some of these suggestions to make things a little easier. And I hope you have a great night, and thank you again for listening.